ॐ ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेन अहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्माम् अवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा जिह्वे पिबस्वामृतमेतदेव गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। विश्वं दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यत्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोध समये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये। 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 श्री Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Chapter 3, verse number 4. And after the verse, I will read the connecting bhashya of Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, connecting the verse 3 to 4, and then the bhashya on verse number 4, before getting into the meaning from where we left in the last session. Verse number 4. न कर्मणामनारम्भात् नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति न कर्मणामनारम्भात् नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति. The Sambandh Bhashya connecting the previous verse to the current verse, verse number 4. Mam cha bandha karane karmani eva niyojayasi iti vishanna manasam arjunam karmana arabhe iti eva manvanam alakshya aha bhagwan na karmana manarambhat iti अथवा ज्ञान कर्मनिष्ठयोः परस्पर विरोधात् एकेन पुरुषेण युगपद अनुष्ठातुम् अशक्यत्वे सति इतरेतरानपेक्षयोः एव पुरुषार्थ हेतुत्वे प्राप्ते कर्मनिष्ठाया ज्ञाननिष्ठा प्राप्ति हेतुत्वेन पुरुषार्थ हेतुत्वं न स्वातंत्र्येण ज्ञाननिष्ठा तु कर्मनिष्ठोपायलब्धात्मिका सती स्वातंत्र्येण पुरुषार्थ हेतुः अन्यानपेक्षा इति एतम अर्थम प्रदर्शयिष्यन् आह भगवान. Now the bhashya on verse number 4 of Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. न कर्मणाम अनारंभात् अप्रारंभात् कर्मणाम क्रियाणाम यज्ञादीनाम इह जन्मनि जन्मांतरे वा अनुष्ठितानाम उपात्त दुरित क्षय हेतुत्वेन सत्वशुद्धि कारणानाम तत्कारणत्वेन च ज्ञानोत्पत्ति द्वारेण ज्ञाननिष्ठा हेतूनाम ज्ञानमुत्पद्यते पुंसां क्षयात् पापस्य कर्मणः. महाभारत शांति पर्व. इत्यादि स्मरणात् अनारंभात् अनुष्ठात् नैष्कर्म्यं निष्कर्म भावं कर्म शून्यतां ज्ञान योगेन निष्ठां निष्क्रियात्म स्वरूपेण एव अवस्थानम् इति यावत् पुरुषः न अश्नुते न प्राप्नोति इत्यर्थः. कर्मणाम् अनारंभात् नैष्कर्म्यं न अश्नुते इति वचनात् तद्विपर्ययात् तेषाम् आरंभात् नैष्कर्म्यम् अश्नुते इति गम्यते. कस्मात् पुनः कारणात् कर्मणाम् अनारंभात् नैष्कर्म्यं न अश्नुते इति. This is Purva Paksha, means somebody is asking question and from a Karmakand perspective. Now the Uttar Paksha to this is one para. उच्यते कर्मारंभस्य एव नैष्कर्म्योपायत्वात् नहि उपायम अंतरेण उपेय प्राप्ति ही अस्ति. This is the Uttar Paksha to that Purva Paksha in the previous thing. Now the Bhashya continues. कर्म योगोपायत्वं च नैष्कर्म्य लक्षणस्य ज्ञान योगस्य श्रुतौ इह च प्रतिपादनात्. श्रुतौ तावत् प्रकृतस्य आत्मलोकस्य वेद्यस्य वेदनोपायत्वेन तमेतं वेदानुवचनेन ब्राह्मणा विविदिशन्ति यज्ञेन. It's from Bhagwan Shankaracharya is quoting from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. इत्यादिना कर्मयोगस्य ज्ञानयोगोपायत्वं प्रतिपादितम्. इह अपि च संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुमयो गतः. योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति संगं त्यक्त्वात्मशुद्धये. यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् इत्यादि प्रतिपादयिष्यति. ननु च अभयं सर्वभूतेभ्यो दत्त्वा नैष्कर्म्यमाचरेत् इत्यादौ कर्तव्य कर्म संन्यासाद् अपि नैष्कर्म्य प्राप्तिं दर्शयति. लोके च कर्मणाम् अनारंभात् नैष्कर्म्यम् इति प्रसिद्धतरम्. अतः च नैष्कर्म्यार्थिनः किं कर्मारंभेण इति प्राप्तम्. अत आह न च संन्यसनाद् एव इति न अपि संन्यसनाद् एव केवलात् कर्म परित्यागमात्राद एव ज्ञान रहितात् सिद्धिं नैष्कर्म्य लक्षणाम ज्ञान योगेन निष्ठाम समधिगच्छति न प्राप्नोति. This is the bhashya on this verse number 4 of Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. Now let's continue from where we left in the last session. The prayer of Arjun is very simple. Very simple prayer Arjun has done to Bhagwan. Tad ekam nishchityam vada. Bhagwan, amongst all the path which is available, decide one, give me one path to follow after making a decision of which path you want me to follow. Even though Bhagwan has already said that, but still Arjun want to doubly, have a double clarity about this thing, that, Bhagwan, are you sure? Amongst all the path, both the paths you mentioned, you want me to follow the second path, which is not primary, so to say, to reach the self-knowledge. So Bhagwan, and in that, in response to the question of Arjun, what is the question? Ekam nishchityam vada. Bhagwan has said in the 8th verse of this chapter what Bhagwan wants Arjun to do as a direct answer to Arjun. In the 8th verse of this chapter itself, Bhagwan says, Niyatam kuru karmatvam. Tvam niyatam karma kuru. You do the action which has come into you, which is your duty right now. Niyatam karma means what? That which is your duty, just us do that way. Whatever duty it's right now, Arjun's duty is what? To fight the war. And how that niyata karma or the duty which has come to Arjun, how he is supposed to do that, Bhagwan has given the answer or the advice in the verse number 9 of this chapter. He says, is tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. So, Bhagwan has answered in the 8th verse of this particular chapter what Bhagwan wants Arjun to do. Supreme Consciousness Bhagwan Krishna wants Arjun to do. And Supreme Consciousness Bhagwan Krishna is such a brilliant teacher. See, he never missed that question. He started explaining the verse 3rd onwards in terms of answering Arjun's question, that yes, Arjun, what you said is right. There are two paths. And from the starting of the creation itself, depending upon the qualification of a student, I have only expounded upon two paths, because when people are with different qualifications, you cannot put all of them, bundle all of them together to follow one path. They may not be able to do it. They may not be able to follow that path. Why? Because they are not ready yet. So path has to be given as per the readiness of a student, as per the qualification of a student. Since Bhagwan knew that the creation is vast and there will be people with different levels of qualification, so Bhagwan has given two broad paths, so to say, and broadly classified the qualifications into two different portions, into two different facets. And so one path Bhagwan has given is the path of knowledge, which is Jnana Yoga, and one path which is Bhagwan has given is the path of action, which is Karma Yoga. So this is the way you need to understand those two paths. So the people who do path of action or follow the path of action, they are actually only adding qualifications unto them while following the path, and gearing up their readiness to go to the next path. When they are ready, when they are qualified to go to the next path, things will automatically come up in that way. And that is what I told you when I spoke about the Guru-Shishya relationship. Who puts Guru and Shishya together? When we are ready, a Guru reaches us means what? That is the responsibility of Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the protector of spiritual path for everyone. So as and when you are ready, you will reach a point which will continue your journey from there. That's how this whole path of spirituality has been set in by Bhagwan. When Bhagwan has created this creation, Supreme Consciousness Bhagwan Krishna talks about it very clearly, that I am the protector of this creation. Protector means what? Protector of creation as a whole also, and protector according to people reaching different levels and pushing them to the next level also, or making things available for them to follow the next level also. So Bhagwan is a protector that way. That is the role of Bhagwan Narayana, that he is the protector of this creation. Protector has got many facets, so to say. When we think of protector, our common thing which come into our mind as a protector is Bhagwan protects our life from death. That is the only definition we understand of protection. Or the protection is that Bhagwan will protect my wealth from getting destroyed, from getting, taken away by fraudsters or taken away by scam. But that is not the only role. Yes, if you are devoted, God will give you signal, will send you people at the right time to do it. But if you want to work on your own, good luck to you. Then do it. Bhagwan will give you freedom. Go and struggle yourself and get it done. Because I told you when I spoke in one session about bhakti, when I spoke about one session of Bhagwan's kripa, Bhagwan's compassion, Bhagwan's grace on all of us, I told you there is something called Samanya kripa and there is something called Vishesh kripa. Samanya kripa means general grace. General grace to Bhagwan is already given to everyone. We are all under his general grace. But those who get further devoted to Bhagwan, they are the one who become eligible to get the special grace of Bhagwan. So that is Bhagwan's general grace means Bhagwan is for everyone. He is all pervading supreme consciousness. When he is all pervading means that everyone is under his protection. When I say protection, please don't take protection as only protection of my wealth, protection of my body, protection of my life. Don't only take that. There are protections at many, many different levels. If I start speaking on protection itself, I may need one full session for talking and explaining you about protection. I'll just give you one small example before I continue. My Puja Guruji Swami Subodhananji had said that in one of the places that Swamiji was giving a talk or doing a satsang at one place is in India. He was giving a satsang somewhere. There was a saint who used to come and attend his daily satsang. So it was a Jnana Yajna for 7 days. So the saint used to come and sit in the front row every day for all the satsangs he came. One of the satsangs, and after one of the satsang, he went to our Puja Guruji and asked, you are one of the speakers and such a great speaker on Sanatan Dharma. You are such a great follower of Sanatan Dharma. You are a great guru, so to say, a great saint on the path of Sanatan Dharma. I will pose one question to you. Can you, and because you are the one who are talking of Sanatan Dharma and teaching Sanatan Dharma to others, I am sure or you must know this particular topic also, and you are the one who can expound this topic also. So he asked Swamiji the question, Gange tava darshanat muktihi. Can you elaborate on this line? Gange tava darshanat muktihi. And I'm talking of this verse now only when the Savan month is going on and the Kavad season just ended. And Kavad Shivratri also has ended, and it is a very, what you call that, holy month to take dip in Ganga river. So Swamiji's question was, the saint's question was, Gange tava darshanat muktihi. Can you elaborate on this? So then our Guruji is our Guruji only. He said, Swamiji, when we say muktihi, first let's peel down the word correctly to understand. Mukti is at very different level. Okay. So I already told you when we talk about mukti in Sanatan Dharma, mukti is at many different levels. From one level to another, from human birth to a divine life in, not the divine life society I'm talking about divine life or a divine body in Swargaloka or in a Brahmaloka. All that is part of mukti only, right? We have got free from this body, and when we have uplifted into the next life, into the next level, that is called mukti. That is one definition of mukti. Swamiji said, Puja Guruji said, Swamiji, mukti is a different level. So when we say Gange tava darshanat muktihi, O Mother Ganga, by your vision itself, by having a darshan means a vision of you itself, by seeing you in physically flowing itself, one will get mukti, one will get free from birth and death, one will get free from whatever state they are. Swamiji said, so we need to understand mukti. So Swamiji said, when we say Gangaji's darshan itself will give us mukti, so there Swamiji used this word, mukti, that way we can understand as mukti from avanchit, that which is not desired, that which is not required by me. That it's freeing ourselves from that itself is a big freedom, by the way. Because today we are in the spree of collecting and acquiring things, and many of those things we may not even require in our life. So when I get free from even desire for those things which are not required in my life, that itself is a mukti. And that mukti, that freedom, we can definitely get by just gaining a vision of Mother Ganga flowing from wherever she is flowing, whether you get it in Haridwar, whether you get wherever Mother Ganga is flowing. If by mere vision itself we can get that mukti, when we can get that level of freedom, then just imagine by taking a holy dip in Mother Ganges, what all levels we'll get free. So that is the way to interpret things. How Puja Guruji has done Gange Tava Darshanat itself Mukti. So when we understand things, we need to understand we have to get free from the baggage we have got from the previous life. Avanchit also means that which is not required. I may have lot of vasanas and things inside me which I don't even require to be present for me to continue my journey in this life. Many things which I've accumulated, as when I say accumulation, I'm not talking about physical accumulation of wealth only. Yeah? I'm talking about accumulation of vasanas also. In I don't know from which life I've been coming, how what all vasanas I've acquired and what all vasanas are lying inside me. When I sometimes go to sleep, some strange things come up and we wonder, I don't even know this was residing inside me. Where am I and what am I seeing? Sometimes the kind of dreams which come is very strange. We don't even know where it is coming from. It is coming from why? Because even though we may have a different path now, but the vasanas are lying and have been accumulated from so many lives, so to say. So when I say avanchit, cleaning up my internal system to remove all those things which are not desired, not required by me in my current state of development, even that itself is a level of freedom. And I told in one of the sessions before also, we know how to put things into our mind and intellect, but we don't know how to remove that data. Because that data is not removed, when the required things or the things which are going to lift us up in the life, when they come up like spiritual studies and all, our intellect returns with an error. Sorry, no more disk space left to store data. And we don't know how to remove all those dirty things which are supposed to go into dustbin, and we have stored them in our vasanas, in our intellect and all those things. So mukti shabd means there that avanchit, mukti from avanchit, those which are not required by me in my current state of development, in my current state of evolution, those things are not required. I'm just giving you one more example for you to know this line. Even when we are born as human beings, many things which have been there, I may have lived lives of animals also sometimes. Why? Because there were many vasanas which can only manifest and come out in terms of expression only when somebody gets an animal body. So those vasanas may also be lying, some traces lying there, but those are not required for me in my human life. When I read newspaper, I told you before also, some incidents when you see, they are so horrifying incidents. I don't even know how can a human being fall to that level of cruelty. Sometimes those incidents shock your conscience. How can a man fall to such level of cruelty? Even the terrorism, so to say, people brainwashing people to kill others. How can a human being fall to that level of cruelty? It is far below the dignity of a human being. They don't even, and they don't even deserve to have a human life, so to say. So you see, those tendencies are not required in my human body. So our prayer to Bhagwan, our prayer to Mother Ganga when we take dip is, Mother, all those things which are not required for me in my current state of evolution, please help me wash them away. I request you, please wash them away. They are not required by me. They are only hindrance for me in my evolution. There are things, in our vasanas, in our karma phala, which is lying there. They are not a supporting thing at all for us. They have got nothing to do with us. Rather, they turn out to be hindrance in our development, hindrance in our evolution. I tell you certain incidents from world itself I can pick up. There are people who come back and say this person was doing so good. One incident ruined that person's life. Where did that one incident come from? When he or she was doing so good, where did that single incident come from? That single lone incident come out from? Where did it come from? It was lying redundant. It did not go away from inside that. How does people go to that level that all the path they have, all the things which they have gained, it all goes away with that one incident itself? I don't know how they fall. Even people sometimes, some people who do cruel actions, they repent also. But repentance itself is a way to clean up the thing. That is one of the way to actually come out of your or thing. But the thing is, whatever has gone has gone. Our prayer to Bhagwan should be those tendencies, those pressuresome tendencies, those forceful tendencies, those forceful animalistic tendencies which have been lying in us redundant. Please, Bhagwan, help us to delete them from our system so that we are able to come out pure and we can go and walk this path. And trust me, Karma Yoga is the path for cleaning up of your vasanas. That is why I told you Supreme Consciousness Bhagavan Krishna is the biggest proponent of Karma Yoga. No Upanishads have got Karma Yoga anywhere. Upanishads, as you can read, you can study, you can do research on them only when you have already reached that level of qualification to pick up an Upanishad. Otherwise, you won't understand a thing. You will think something, things will fly above your head. Here, there are Upanishadic declarations which was Bhagavan has given in the second chapter, but Arjun came back to karma. Why? There are traces and portions of things left which needs to be cleansed for one to be ready to walk the path of knowledge. So Bhagavan said very clearly, according to the prayer of Arjun, Bhagavan Bhagavan should give a path which is according to what Arjun's prayer is. And Arjun's prayer is what? Bhagavan, I only asked you one thing. Advise me a path where I'll gain something which is supremely good for me, which is what is coined with a term in Sanskrit called Shreyas. Bhagwan, tell me Shreyas path. I have been in loud and clear telling you ever since I surrendered in verse number 2.7. Bhagwan, don't give me any other thing except that which is by which I will gain the ultimate good. I only want ultimate good for me. Only tell me that path by which I can gain ultimate good. And that's the first question of Arjun. That, Bhagwan, tell me something where I can get the supreme good. The second and portion of the question of Arjun is what? Or the second kind of desire of Arjun, desire of knowledge, which we call jigyasa, jnatum ichha. The second question which is sprouting out of desire of knowledge for Arjun is what? Desire of knowledge in Arjun is what? Bhagwan, I feel it's your conviction is that, and that which is dear to you also is that the path of knowledge is far supreme, far better than the path of action. From karma, jnana is shresth according to you, Bhagwan, and it is dear to you also. You have given so many verses on the path of knowledge, you have given few on the path of action also, but from your conversation, from your teachings, it comes out that according to you, your conviction is that the path of knowledge is supreme as compared to the path of action. That is how I have formed an opinion, and or I have understood the way you have given the advice in the previous chapter. And that is true also. The path of knowledge or Sankhya Buddhi is actually the only path by which we can get self-abidance, Swarupa Avasthan. We can become free from all kinds of bondages ever in our life, and by which we can do what we can and actually do the greatest kind of benefit. It can be given to jiva. We can do the uddhar of jiva. A jiva can be liberated by which, okay, and that alone is the only path by which a jiva can become free from all kind of disturbances forever, or can free that jiva from all kind of worries forever. And that this path, the path of knowledge, is the only direct cause of all these gaining all these results which I spoke about. And karma yoga, or the path of action, is what? Is an indirect cause or a traditional cause. Traditional cause means it by tradition, it removes many things to prepare you for the path of knowledge. It is not a direct cause, it's a traditional cause. We call in Hindi is paramparyat hetu. Paramparyat hetu means it's a traditional cause, or it's an indirect cause, so to say. So karma yoga, or the path of action, and is an indirect cause or a traditional cause which will lead us to the path of knowledge, but ultimately that which is going to free us is going to be the path of knowledge alone. And that is exactly what Bhagwan Bhashyakar, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji has also mentioned in his Sambandh Bhashya, which he gave in the beginning of third chapter, connecting the second chapter to third chapter. So the Sambandh Bhashya which Bhagwan Bhashyakar gave, he has mentioned it very clearly in, probably I'll tell you the para also, in the beginning of this chapter, where Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji has mentioned that in the fifth para of the Sambandh Bhashya, towards the end, Bhagwan has said, Bhagwan Bhashyakar has mentioned, Anaikantika Shreya Prapti Phale. Karma Yoga is what has got Anaikantik Phal. Anaikantik Phal means Karma Yoga can give you several results. So the path, Karma Yoga means the path of action, can give you several results. And the path of knowledge will give you one single result. So sometimes people may say, isn't the path which gives us several results better than the path which gives you one result? No, you are not right. The path which gives you several results means what? Anaikantik. It can lead you to several results. Means what? People who follow the path of action, Karma Yoga, they may get at the path of knowledge, or they may not get the path of knowledge, because path of knowledge is not the only result of Karma Yoga. Remember that. Anekantik means what? There are many results which can be gained from Karma Yoga. So just remember this thing. Now, please mark my word. That's the reason I did not pick up this discussion in the last session. Okay. Don't get confused in what I'm saying. Don't misunderstand things. Misunderstanding also, I'll tell you one story towards the end of this session, if it allows the time. It comes in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It's a very beautiful story. We understand according to our intellectual construct only. So sometimes what happens is we only misunderstand, but we blame the speaker for, or giving several statements, like the way Arjun has said that Bhagwan, you have confused me. Bhagwan never confused. Bhagwan said it very. Bhagwan is a brilliant teacher. I'm telling you, that is why Bhagwan Krishna, Supreme Consciousness, Bhagwan Krishna is Jagat Guru. He is the most brilliant teacher. The way he develops topic, that itself is worthy of appreciation and worthy of being mesmerized by. To be very honest with you, the way Bhagwan builds up topic now in Bhagavad Gita, and remember, in the middle of a war field, after the war has been announced, somebody is so brilliantly building up topic according to the question of Arjun. So I praised Arjun in the last and many sessions also, that see the clarity, see the focus of Arjun, that Arjun is following what Bhagwan is teaching, and his question is according to Bhagwan's teaching. He's not asking any question about the war or anything at all. How should I use the arrow? Who should I shoot first? Those questions are not there. Of course, Arjun's praise is really worth appreciating, and I'm really mesmerized by Arjun's level of focus also. The way his focus is there in the middle of the war field, when the knowledge is going on, his focus is completely on knowledge. And Arjun's focus has already been tested by many gurus, and many people have been given that example also. But see the beauty of Bhagwan. Okay, now Bhagwan knows everything in this creation. He is the personification of knowledge itself. So Bhagwan is a Jnana avatar himself. In every avatar, Bhagwan is a Jnana avatar. Whether it's Bhagwan Ram, Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Shiva, you call it, they are full of knowledge all the time. So they are complete Jnana avatar. And I already mentioned that point in one of the places, that in Srimad Bhagavat, it is said for Bhagwan and Shiva, Saesha Loka Guru, Jnani Nam Sabhapati. He is the Loka Guru, he is the Guru of, that's why Bhagwan Shiva is the Adi Guru. And there are many ways I can explain that in the month of Savan to you, but let me just focus on this, otherwise we will not be able to complete this verse. I will have probably, whenever I have any session with any of you in any other city, probably I'll pick up these aspects which I'm not taking up here in podcast, as you know, in those sessions, so that you can see the beauty of Sanatan Dharma, the beauty of our scriptures and the way they teach. It itself is it's worth watching actually. It's worth listening to it. See, Sanatan Dharma is the only Dharma in this creation. Let me be upfront. All others are only communities and they are only communal knowledge. Sanatan Dharma is the only one which qualifies to be called as Dharma. And everyone has taken bits and pieces from Sanatan Dharma only to propagate their own communal teachings, community teachings. Not when I say communal teaching, it becomes very wrong way. So don't take it in a derogatory sense. We call it Sampradayik Gyan. Sampradayik Gyan, Sampradaya. Those people who follow Sampradaya, those people who follow a community, part of a community, every community will have their own set of rules and regulations, will have their own philosophy to follow. So those philosophies are what should be coined as religion, the way religion is understood today. Sanatan Dharma does not qualify to be, part of as compared to those religions. Sanatan Dharma is at the epitome of entire knowledge. Anyway, so Bhagwan is a Purna Jnana Avatara. But you see, when I speak about Arjun's focus, see the way Bhagwan is paying attention to his student. Bhagwan knows, a guru knows that student will fumble at many places, will ask stupid question also, will ask silly questions also. That's why I told you in one of the sessions also, when I created WhatsApp group, I also get all kind of questions from the listeners. But I never, put down any question, so to say. I do classify that this question is personal, so you reach out to me separately, do not ask me in the group, because sometimes personal questions doesn't need to be asked in the group, but sometimes I do come back as an answer to question of people, that your question actually sprouts out from your incomplete and incorrect understanding. So I'll correct certain portions there, but may not be able to elaborate, because when we give when we reply on message, you have a limitation. No, you can't write essays over there because it's a group which is following it. So the thing is, many times what happens is, we are actually a product of our own understanding. So many times when guru has said it correctly only, but our misunderstanding, we point out that you only confused me. He did not confuse us. It's actually our misunderstanding we are superimposing on a guru. So here also, that is the thing we need to understand, that Sankhya Buddhi, or the path of knowledge, is the direct cause of self-realization or firm abidance in the self, or becoming free from all kind of bondages in life, becoming free from or I would say the eternal peace, gaining eternal peace for a jiva, is the only way for, or what you call the final evolution of jiva, or the eternal evolution of jiva, is complete evolution, and it is the direct cause. And karma yoga has got anaikantik phal. Means what? It is little doubtful in terms of result. When one path gives you many result, or one action gives you many result, that means the result is doubtful, because those who follow also may not or know which result they are going to get. Yes, Karma Yoga, followed diligently the way Bhagwan has expounded, is surely going to lead you to be prepared or be ready to gain or get into the path of knowledge. That's for sure. But if we follow Karma Yoga according to our own ways, then we may not get the result what Bhagwan is mentioning. Yes, those all who follow Karma Yoga, they will surely get far better results than those who are not following Karma Yoga. That is for sure. But all of them may not get the result of gaining the path of knowledge, so to say, may not be gaining the readiness to get into the path of knowledge, so to say. So that is why we need to understand and Karma Yoga in that way. All those who follow Karma Yoga, many of them, I'm not using the word some of them, many of them may get at the preparedness or readiness to get into the path of the knowledge also, but it is possible also that some may not get it also, right? Some may not or get that readiness yet. They may have to follow Karma Yoga maybe in the next life also. This is quite possible, because the way it is followed, that itself will decide what result you are going to get. So Bhagwan, Arjun's question is clear. Bhagwan, you are so much worshipable by me. I worship you as God, and if you, according to you, your conviction and is this that the path of knowledge is supreme as compared to the path of action, and I am your devotee, I am your disciple. And I will use one more word today. When I say devotee, people can understand in different ways also. Those who do worship also are called devotee. Let me use this word when we talk in the context of a guru. Rather than calling devotee, we will use devoted student. That's a better word actually. That a devoted student is called shishya. In the shishya word in Hindi and Sanskrit can be translated as the devoted student. Everyone is not everyone may be a mere student, but a devoted student will qualify to become shishya, and that is where that the bonding between the guru and shishya starts. Every student may not get the bonding with the guru. That is why you will see, even when we talk about Dronacharya also, why did this question come that Arjun is so dear to you and you are biased towards Arjun? So he said, I am not biased towards Arjun. Is that Arjun is so well done, is well prepared, that it naturally flows to that direction. All of you are students, but Arjun is the only one who is a devoted student of mine. And in devotion also, his devotion is very, very high. And I told you, in earlier episodes also, that when we talk about Arjun's devotion is pahar excellence. Anyway, so coming to this fact, so Arjun says, Bhagwan, I am a devoted, I am already devoted to you. I am a devoted student and a student of yours. I have already surrendered at your lotus feet. I have devotion towards you, and also along with that, I've already requested, I've already prayed to you to give me that which is supremely good for me. But even though I've done that, then why are you asking me to go back into the path of action and asking me to do action? Not only do action, do severe kind of an action, because my action will involve killing and killing my own relatives. So why are you asking me? Why are you programming me? Why are you pushing me? Why are you asking me? Why are you advising me to go back to that path of action? Now, I'll give you one more way to understand this side of Bhagwan Krishna and Arjun's conversation. This sounds to us like this way, that there is a student who has understood the the complexities of life and the limitation of what all life can give, and he because he has understood that side of life, he goes and surrenders unto a guru. And that guru also has got great love for the student. Okay, guru has got great love for the student. Why? Because the student has done brilliant service to guru, and guru can see his level of devotion. How does a guru see the level of devotion of a student? Guru sees the level of devotion of a student by his or her service towards the guru. What seva that student does, how does that student does seva, and also when guru says something, how does that student react to it, how does that student take it, how does that student follow it, what happens when the guru gives an advice or instruction to the student or orders the student, so to say. So here maybe that if you understand this way, maybe that, let's take an example that there is a student who is extremely devoted to a guru, and guru also has got a very big good amount of love towards the student, deep love towards the student, deep reverence for the student, and this student is completely devoted to this guru. And amongst them, there is a level of unspoken communication, and there is a kind of bondage that many things the guru doesn't have to tell the student also. Oh, and the student also, without even guru saying, starts to understand what guru wants. So before even Guru asks something, the student has already, served the Guru that way to give it to that Guru. So that kind of bondage is also there. We call in Hindi and Sanskrit Atmiyata. It is also there. There is no kind of distance between the Guru and the Shishya. When I say distance, please remember, here I'm not talking about the physical distance at all. Remember one thing very clearly: closeness with the Guru is at the level of our faith and devotion and our inner equipment, which is intellect. Closeness to a Guru is according to that. The way we understand Guru's words. I was sitting in one of the session of Puja Guruji, Swami Subodhananji, and it was a big camp going on. And there, Puja Guruji himself said that there are some students who are so good, they are so prepared, they are so much devoted, they have got so much reverence and faith towards the Guru, that in that session or 1 hour session or 1.5 hour session, whatever falls from whatever words, whatever teachings flows from the words of the Guru, from the mouth of the Guru, from the sound of the Guru, whatever falls, everything is captured by a student, by that student. And there are many other people, all of the people, there were like hundreds of people in that session, and all other people, he said, everyone receives according to their level of faith and devotion towards the Guru. That is why sometimes some people have to listen to the teaching again and again, but may not get the real essence even after listening many times. And I told you in the second chapter, Bhagavan has already said in there, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam, Shrutvapiyenam nachaiva kaschid. There are people who after listening also may not get. So that depends completely on the faith of the student towards the Guru. So there is no kind of distance between the Guru and the Shishya in terms of intellectual connection also. So when there is such kind of a bonding, I'm using the word bonding and not bondage here. Such kind of a bonding, such kind of a closeness with the Guru, at that time, a disciple or a devoted student can definitely ask a Guru such kind of question. The devoted student has become devoted at the lotus feet of Guru with only one thought, that this Guru is going to uplift me from my current state and make me reach close to where my Guru himself is. Right? He is the one whom I can give the reins of my life, because I am sure I have complete faith in the Guru that he is surely going to uplift me. So, the disciple, the devoted student has got devoted with that. And the one who is a mumukshu means he wants nothing in this world, in this all worlds, all 14 worlds put together. He or she wants nothing but liberation alone. He is a jignasu. Jignasu means he is the one who is eager to learn, eager to know about the self, eager to know about God. And in reality, he or she is the student who has already chosen the path of supreme, or who has chosen only supreme as a result for himself, as a goal for himself in life. For to such a devoted student, Guru cannot give this logic that I am asking you to do action. Why? Because through your action the society will be served. A Guru cannot give that kind of a logic to that student, that oh devoted student, I know you are devoted, I know you are ready for the path of knowledge, but at this point in time I want you to postpone your work or your effort towards the path of knowledge and go and do some social service or serve the society or become a person of social service right now. Guru cannot give this logic to that kind of a devoted student. He cannot. This thing can be said by a Guru keeping the benefit of the society in mind. But surely this statement cannot be said by a Guru to a student keeping the upliftment or benefit of the student in mind. And remember, the student has come and devoted or surrendered to the Guru for his or her own upliftment, not for becoming a cause for uplifting the society. So, a guru cannot not say this keeping the upliftment of the student in mind. Guru may say this to a student by keeping the upliftment of society in the mind. Can say that, go postpone your effort towards the path of knowledge currently. Go and serve the society for some time, and then we'll come back and regather it. I'll give you one more example here. What example? It's a real life situation only. When Pujya Gurudev was studying under Parama Guru Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, Param Pujya Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, at that time Pujya Gurudev said to Parama Guruji, who's his Gurudev, hey, Swamiji, I want to go and give this knowledge to the people in the city. And that's how Chinmay Mission came up, by the way. You should know how much effort Puja Gurudev has put in to bring up Chinmay Mission so that the knowledge which was limited to Himalayas, can be given to the people in the cities also. All people cannot or give up everything and go to Himalayas. So that was the thought process of Puja Gurudev. Not that Puja Gurudev wanted to become popular or anything. Please don't misunderstand any great master or great saint that way at all. His endeavor is not that many people should know me or my name should be there. Nothing doing. He never wanted to create a mission also, by the way. You will come to know from his movie which has been released some years before, or that, Puja Gurudev never wanted a mission, but devotees, they wanted that a mission should be there so that there is discipline and people can come and group and all those things. That's how mission came up. So anyway, so that's the point. So at that time, Parama Guru Swami Tapovanji told Puja Gurudev that Chinmay, don't need to do that much of work at all. You can sit down here and realize the self. Those who want to study will come to you anyway. But Puja Gurudev, if seeing Puja Gurudev's insistence, Parama Guru Swami Tapovanji told Puja Gurudev, okay, I can see where you are coming from. I can see there is a deep desire inside you because you have lived a life in city and also you want people from city to benefit. Go and do. But if in your first satsang there are not even 5 people including you in that satsang, give that up and come back and stay here and realize. And it is said that the first satsang there were, I think, 6 people including Puja Gurudev. That's how Gurudev continued giving that knowledge. So see, Guru Vakya is Guru Vakya. So remember one thing, a student who is devoted to a guru and has gone to the guru for our upliftment in terms of gaining eternal peace, a guru will never tell the student that go and serve the society. Now this place I want to spend some time explaining you social service versus spiritual service. So today what happens is we have actually complicated these two terms together. We feel that all those people who are spiritual, it's their duty to do social service. And we complicate and confuse this fact that all those people who are doing in social service, they are also, all of them are spiritual. That is a very grave and gross misunderstanding, so to say. So let's understand that word also clearly here. Now remember one thing, in Sanatan Dharma, spirituality is not taught by any guru. By any guru, I'm using the word. Spirituality is not taught in Sanatan Dharma to make somebody a person doing social service. So that the person can become, one who is devoted towards social service. That is not the objective of teaching in Sanatan Dharma at all. Our great saints, our Mahapurusha, and our seekers, they may all seem externally to do great social service. That is correct. But remember one thing, their goal is not social service at all. Now, there's a term which you need to understand well. In the Western world also, there are many foundations, so to say, who are working in the under the banner of social service organization, but most of them, I would use the word majority of them, are not into spiritual service at all. Now remember one thing, they may be helping in people and all other things. They may be doing social service, so to say, in the physical social service way. But remember, all spiritual organizations, all spiritual saints may seem to do bigger social service than even the social service organizations. Why? There is a reason in that also, because there is no greater service than equipping people with the knowledge so that they can become independent in managing themselves in the correct manner. And that is what spiritual giants, I'm using the word spiritual giants. Spiritual giant means our great saints, our mahapurushas, and our big spiritual organizations are doing. Yes, over a period of time, some spiritual organizations are turning more towards social or service organization also, but that's not the correct way. Spiritual organizations and spiritual saints are doing bigger and more amount of social service than even social service organizations, so to say. I'm just giving you example. You go to Vrindavan, there are many. I can give you one name straight away. Pujya Maharaj Sri Swami Akhandanand Ji. Swamiji was a great realized master of his time. Now he has attained Samadhi many years ago, but he himself, his ashram runs a daily free kitchen from whatever funds come in. Why? Because that's how they channelize their fund. I am getting it, so might as well let me distribute. All spiritual masters use the funds, or great spiritual masters, let me use this word. Or not all spiritual masters are doing it. Many of them can't be called spiritual masters also. Everyone looking spiritual is not spiritual, by the way. All great spiritual saints are doing bigger social service than even social service organizations, because they are not only helping those who need help, but they are also equipping a wider population with the knowledge which will make them independent to manage themselves, which will make them ready, so that all these nonsensical things do not have any kind of ability to brainwash them into wrong path. These days, this is a term which is coming up very high in the society, that somebody brainwashed, somebody did that, somebody did this. And why did they brainwash? Because their brain was not equipped correctly with the correct information about our religion, our dharma. That's why somebody else could brainwash. For that, we have to gain that knowledge correctly. And I'm telling you, the biggest killer of that is this term which has come to our country called secular, and this is grossly misunderstood term. Secularism doesn't mean that secularism doesn't anti-Hinduism cannot be termed as secularism. It cannot be coined as secularism. That is what the definition of secularism has become today. They understand secularism as anti-Hinduism. Anti-Hinduism cannot be called as secularism. That's a very misunderstood and very gross and grave understanding of secularism. Secularism actually means that you have respect for everyone, including all that which is there, and you don't end up pushing and converting people at gunpoint or with money. That's not, you cannot have that in a secular country at all. That is not the way secularism needs to be understood. Anyway, so Guru's work is not that. And for seekers, between a seeker and a person doing social service, there is a very big difference. Many a times it is possible that a seeker is doing bigger and more social service than a person fully devoted towards social service. It is quite possible. But even though that may be the case, but still a spiritual seeker cannot be called as a person doing social service at all. Cannot be called as a social servicer. I do not know what word to get it though that way. So cannot be called as a samaj sevi. Why? Because this person's goal is not social service. This spiritual seeker's goal is actually gaining the spiritual pinnacle, gaining the spiritual heights. That is the only goal of this particular spiritual seeker. A person who is completely equipped with spiritual knowledge, that person has to decide that what that person need should would the person has to decide what that person, he or she, wants to become. Whether he wants to become a person doing social service, or whether he wants to remain a spiritual seeker. So that is why my guru has taught me very clearly, never ever think that you have reached anywhere. Continue to learn in the spiritual path and continue to be devoted to a guru. And I am very very thankful to God for my God's grace and blessings, that he made me reach the guru who really made me understand that what is spirituality. Spirituality is not about the cloth. Spirituality is not about where you are. Spirituality is about, the first and foremost step of spirituality is about your choice in life. What do you want to become? Do you really want to become a social service person or social service? Please understand, I want to make one thing very clear. When i when when my wife suggested me to put the talk onto the podcast Spotify, and then now it is on Apple podcast also, and now it is on YouTube also. All those channels are picking it up from original upload is on Spotify. From there it is being shared into YouTube Music, and Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and everywhere it is there now. But the purpose of that was very clear: not to create devotees, not to have create a different line of community of people, or nothing doing, not even to get popularity, so to say. Why the name is kept only is Bhagavad Gita podcast, not Anish Chaitanya podcast or anything. Why? The purpose is only one thing, that whosoever is ready should be able to have a platform where the knowledge is given in its exact import, as elaborate as possible, so that we can see the depth of the knowledge of Sanatan Dharma and Bhagavad Gita, and come to appreciate that what kind of rich heritage we have, what kind of rich heritage we are born into, what kind of an heritage we have in terms of Sanatan Dharma and its teaching and Bhagavad Gita. And I told you very clearly, Bhagavad Gita is not for one community of people. Bhagavad Gita is for the entire mankind. It's for the entire mankind, so to say. So a person who is equipped with spiritual knowledge, or a seeker who has gained spiritual knowledge, that student has to decide, that seeker has to decide, what does that seeker want to become: a person doing social service, or a spiritual seeker in his or her life. Person can seem to do social service, but it is not necessary that that is the goal of that spiritual seeker, to so to say. Even though for a spiritual seeker the goal is not social service, but whatever he or she does with complete purity and without any kind of desire for anything. Why? Because he or she is actually only serving his own dear God, and his purpose is what? He should become more pure, so that he can also become devoted permanently and firmly onto the path of knowledge. That is the only endeavor of a spiritual seeker trying to give talk on spiritual subjects. The only thought and the goal behind a spiritual seeker trying to give away, or trying to disperse knowledge, or give knowledge, or share knowledge, whatever he or she has, with others, the only goal and the only desire behind that is that those people who have things must share some out of it to others. And remember one thing, Sanatan Dharma is very clear: those who give only become prepared and become ready to gain. By giving only you can gain, and it is true at all levels of giving. Knowledge, so definitely, Those who give knowledge only have the right aptitude and right ability. They generate the right qualification to gain knowledge. Those, even in terms of money also, when we have money with us, or we have accumulated money, or we have earned and wealth for us, definitely when we give some out of it, we are paving way for more to come to us. Remember, the art of gaining is by giving. Sanatan dharma is very very clear. I to keep telling people that you must contribute, give, earn punya, give things, so that you are paving way for you to gain more. Giving is the way to gain. Like I've give you an example, even today if you go to a shop, you have to give first to get, right? That's the same thing at every level. We need to understand. And the biggest irony of today's time is that many have that, but rare few have got the ability to give. It is not about not having, it is about they don't have the temperament to give. They do not have the ability to give, but they don't understand, by not gaining that ability, they are blocking themselves from getting also. Because without giving, you cannot get. So the only purpose of this spiritual seeker, the spiritual seeker has understood this secret of creation, that those who have some or much more must give to those who have a scarcity of those things, or who do not have those things. And that is my social responsibility towards the society where I'm living. That is my duty towards the society where I'm living. And that is the, what you call that is the value of this spiritual seeker's life, which becomes a motivating factor for this spiritual seeker to step forward and start giving whatever he or she has gained. Remember, he doesn't wait for him to gain everything first to give. Some people think that, oh yeah, yeah, sure, I will give only when I have reached a certain level, then only I'll start giving. A spiritual seeker can also think, let me gain all the knowledge first before I start giving. But that's not the correct path at all. We should start giving even if we have some, in whatever limited capacity we have, because by giving only we will pave way for gaining. I'm telling you, it is true for all levels, else whatever we have, huh? So the thing we need to understand is, he or she understand that this is my social responsibility, this is my duty towards the society, that this is my service towards my society where I live in, because I also grew with the help of others around the society. But what happens with a clean person also doing social service? Now I'm coming to the point of social service, huh? What is the problem with the social service, so to say? Now what happens to a person who is dedicated in doing social service? Dedicated in doing social service, huh? Now remember that what happens, that this person is completely dedicated and came with the intent that he doesn't want anything, he want to only serve the society, and started to do social service. And slowly, gradually, as that person becomes mature in the social service, I'm using mature for a reason, huh? That time passes, as this person in this person doing this social service, time passes slowly, gradually. What happens? The form of social service starts to change, or the way the social service intent was inside the head of this person starts to take different shape altogether. And when the shape and the intent changes, then remember, even though the social service physically remains the same, he's doing the same act what he was doing few years back also, but because the intent and the form of it has changed, the goal of the social service has changed, the level of social service has also changed, and the result of social service will also change for sure. Now what change I'm talking about? A clean person means a pure person with a pure intent of serving the society joined a social service organization. This is an example I'm giving you. Very honest, very pure person. But since it's a social service organization, there will be other people also in the organization, right? And the other people may be at key posts in the organizations also, isn't it? There are many other people who will be in that organization, contributing, in giving, generating, and all those things. When this person sees that the other counterparts of him or her in that organization are very strange. I came with the intent to serve the society with a very pure interest and pure intent and goal. But here I see that all of them are busy, oh, clicking pictures as in whatever work they are doing, posting it in the newspaper, magazine, and other things. I have also been a part of social organizations, so I've seen all kinds of people in my life too. So with surety, I can say that, with conviction, I can say such people exist. I've seen all of them, all kinds of people, by God's grace. Really, it is God's grace that He's walked me through many other facets of life, corporate also, spiritual organization also, social service also. So my understanding is coming out of my experience of these kind of people I've seen. So slowly, gradually, this person sees that all the people who are holding key posts and are senior to him in that social service organization, they are busy clicking pictures, declaring their names in the newspaper. They will make sure that if an event is there, it should never be, they will spend money to invite a newspaper correspondent so that somebody takes a note of it and gives it in the newspaper. Then actually your service doesn't remain service, it only becomes another way to increase your ego. Sorry, I'm using the correct word here. So he understands that even though this person is honest and pure, he understands that the way I'm working is not, I'm not going to survive, sustain this. So slowly, gradually, his intellect also starts to get tainted by these people around. I told you one thing which really has a big impact on all of us is our association. Now, these days, though, name it and there are associations. There's like, residential association, there is a society association, there is a spiritual association. And but the thing is, association will have all kind of people. How will you protect yourself from actually not getting impacted by the negative sides of that? The problem is negative things impact much faster because we are not ultimately pure to only pick up the positive aspect. So what happens as the time passes by, as the time goes by, this person's intellect also starts to get tainted, and this person's intent now starts to change, and this person also gets into the mode of getting pictures, getting clicked here and there, getting name, felicitated in groups, gaining position in the organization. Then there will be election. And I tell you, Puja Gurudev himself has said in one of the sessions that in one of the Chinmay mission there was a big fight in the committee of that at center, and Puja Gurudev had to intervene because it's made of people. And I tell you, what should I tell you? I have myself handled committee meetings in a spiritual center for 5 years actually. I have seen worse than dog fights in those sessions also, by the way. It's not just because you are sitting there, people may respect and not end up hitting someone at all, but it is equal to that much only, verbal fight and all those things. So people are, all kind of people are there, and these days it is full of association. The moment something comes up, people want association, and then what happens, somebody else builds it, then somebody else will come and then throw them out. And then there will be like a power struggle and all those things. Just remember, the ghori state of a social organization is the power struggle, and then some will get crushed under, some will get defeated, some will get insulted. Because someone insulted someone will stay away. And if this happens in a spiritual organization, some people, what happens is their spiritual interest also goes away. That is why whenever I was there, I tried to protect that committee in such a way that it doesn't end up killing the spiritual interest of followers only. Sometimes that is the worst side which happens. So what happens is this person's intellect also starts to get tainted, and he also starts to stand in the line of people who are getting clicked, getting felicitated, wants to gain a position in a social organization. slowly, gradually his honesty and intent is completely gone and changed. On the contrary to that, there is a person who is doing social service, but his intent or his value in life is different. His intent is, I'm giving you a separate set of a person, a different kind of a person, a next level of a person, and doing social service. Here the first person I've already spoke, he's already got tainted. His intent was correct, but he got tainted by the association of people, and then he got also swayed away by the all those things. There is a second kind of a person who's also doing social service, but his value in life is, so to say, correct. His or her motivating factor is by serving others, by giving or doing beneficial things for others, by serving others, by helping others, as actually I am doing my dharma, I am doing my duty. Now, the motivating thought or the motivating factor of social service for this person is what? That it is coming out of his thought process of, I want to do dharma, I want to do my duty in the society. Now, Ramcharitmanas Uttarkand also says this, Parahit saris dharma nahi bhai. There is no greater dharma than doing things which benefit others. Parhit means that which benefit others. So that is the motivating factor for social service is. And if somebody is a dharmic person, is a duty bound person, this is going to be the motivating factor of that particular person. And in the intellect of such a person, and there is a firm conviction, there is a firm faith, there is a firm belief that the biggest source of earning punya is by doing things which benefit others. Paropkara punyaya papaya parapidanam. This is a line of our Vedas only, that for earning punya, the best way is actually doing things which benefit others. That's called paropkar. And the easiest way to earn sin is parapidanam, by inflicting pain on others, by inflicting or giving trouble to others, by destroying others, by doing things to put down others, by doing things which derail others. That is all easiest way to earn or inherit sin. And this person understand that if I have gained success in my life, if I have gained well in my life, if I have got accumulated or gained wealth in my life, if I have happiness in my life, if I have got fame and name in my life, they are all there maybe because that I may have done punya in my previous life, or I have earned punya in my previous life. And in case my family is happy, if family is able to live happily, then the major reason of that may be probably my ancestors have earned punya in their life, because of which my family is happy. This is his firm faith, this is firm belief, and that's why this person thinks that in case going forward also, in future also, I want to remain happy, I want to remain wealthy, I want to remain successful, then I must, in this life also, I must invest some portion of my wealth in earning punya. These days, invest word, we understand it very clearly. There are zillions of things outside, SIP, mutual fund. People are doing all kinds of things to actually secure their future, by so that their earning is secure in the future also, and it doesn't go away anywhere. But they don't understand the most secured thing for our future is the punya we earn with what we earn in our life. Even if the wealth goes away, we have punya, we have all the thing in our life to gain it back. But if we have wealth, have no punya, if that goes away, we will be back to square one, completely back to the road, so to say. So this person understand that some portion of the wealth I have earned, some portion of my earning I must invest in earning punya. His motivating factor is punya. His motivating factor is punya. Arjun, his motivating factor is punya, and there is a deep desire in that person to earn punya. Because of that desire, this person starts to help or contribute towards helping the society. He starts working or putting his effort towards helping the people in the society. What does this person invest? Some portion of the wealth earned and some portion of his time, his or her time. And also along with that, he tries to protect himself from all those kinds of actions and things which actually affect lowering whatever punya is earned, or reducing the amount of punya he has earned in his life. Our scripture says, now remember this thing, I'm using the word here. Our scripture says very clearly that in case you want name, you want to be seen doing social service, then remember one thing, you will get that also, but some portion of your punya will go away in that act. Why? Because you have used some portion of the fruit of punya in gaining name and fame and other things. Now I'll tell you one thing very honestly, since I come across all kinds of people in my group also. In my group also, many people have contributed for this podcast initiative by God's grace, and my prayers are all with them. There are many people who have come back and asked me also that please don't announce my name in the group, because I want to keep it a gupt dan. Gupt dan means a secret dan which is only known to you and God and me. So I keep telling them that the one way which have been taught by my guru very clearly and try to live in my life is praise is always public, and feedback is always personal, and I try to live that every day. So I request them that please allow me to share in the group, but I tell them that don't worry about anything going away from your punya. Why? Because your desire is not to be seen. That's number one. Number two is that whatever you share in terms of thing or amount, that is never shared in the group. That is only between you, God, and me. So as far as others don't know that, your punya is protected. So you don't need to worry about that at all. So here the thing is, if you end up having a desire to be known in public that you did something, then remember one thing, you are utilizing from your own earned punya to spend there. So your punya, amount of punya accumulated will go down, because some portion of the fruit you have already taken. Those people who know this secret art of action or karma, they are those people. Well, those people. Those people who know the secret of karma, they are the people who stay away from these acts. But those people who do not know the secret of punya, they are the one who end up getting devoid of punya in their life. This person who knows this secret, this person doesn't have a desire to get clicked for the service he's doing, because this person knows that in case the amount is of punya is reduced, then what is the benefit of doing this social service? The benefit of doing social service is actually that I should be able to earn punya in my life. that this person believes in something called a secret contribution or secret service, so to say, not the secret service agent, but the thing I'm talking about. He talks here, he has got this perception of that he wants to do gupta dan means secret contribution, and this person believes in that, and this person, and gained this is motivation for this kind of a guptan also, or the secret kind of contribution also, from this knowledge only. This knowledge gained by this person and about this secret kind of a contribution did not actually come from the social service, so to say. This came from the knowledge about the ways punya need to be earned, the way or the secret of karma, so to say. This kind of a motivation and to do this kind of work or secret kind of a contribution came from, did not come from the social service itself, rather it came from whatever punyas this person has earned already, because this person knows that by show off I may end up actually jeopardizing the amount of punya I have earned. Arjun is a spiritual seeker. That's why he is asking this question to Bhagwan. Bhagwan, Ghore Karmani Kim Mam Niyojasi. I have no desire for a social service in my life. I don't even have desire to earn punya in my life. I don't have any such kind of a desire. And this is also a level of a spiritual seeker. Now, two levels of people I already spoke about. The third level I'm talking about, a level of spiritual seeker now. There is one category of spiritual seeker who does not even want to earn punya also in life. This spiritual seeker does not give importance to punya also in life. He doesn't have a desire to go to any greater lokas, so to say. He doesn't want that, and he doesn't want that I should progress into a different loka and I should gain and go and see swargaloka also. Let me have a desire. I want to see how the swargaloka looks. I want to know what transpires in brahmaloka, so to say. I've heard from scriptures so many places and all. So such a person does not have any such desire at all. And he knows that whatever situations I earn or gain with the punyas also, every situation has got some kind of fault in it. And this only people who had grown and gained purity in life can understand that every situation in life comes with some kind of dosha. Dosha means some kind of fault, some kind of problem associated with it. Some spiritual seekers does not have any desire for any kind of situation to be created in their life at all, because they understand the best of the best situations, even if they manifest in my life, or they are created in my life, or they come in my life, all of them have got some kind of faults or problems associated with them. And this, a pure spiritual seeker, a grown up spiritual seeker, I would say that an evolved spiritual seeker can see it very clearly. That's why this seeker does not want any such situation to manifest in his life, even if it is best of the best ones, because he knows very clearly that there is no situation which is free or devoid of faults and problems. And when we are able to see faults and problems, then we understand that no situation in our life is worthy of being desired, is worthy of being asked for. And when there is no such situation left to be desired for in my life, then why should I even work towards that situation? And even when there are no such situation which I desire in my life, then the next question which can come is, why should I even work towards earning punya also? And then at that level, when a seeker evolves to that level, that seeker starts to gain dispassion towards all these things, not out of any pressure, not out of any problem, not out of any sudden accident, but it arises out of his well thought after wisdom. It's gained from his wisdom. It comes out of his wisdom, it comes out of knowledge. And for such a rare seeker, for such a rare seeker, it can be very clearly understood that for such a rare seeker, this whole world is like this only. And to such a seeker, if guru or god or guru says that, go and do action, niyatam karma kuru, go and do the action which is your duty, so to say, then to such a seeker it is natural, but natural, that such a question may arise in the intellect of such a seeker, that Bhagwan or Guru, why are you putting me or pushing me into action, and that to such a severe kind of an action? And remember, all kinds of action are severe only. There is no such action which has not got the kind of severity, so to say. There is no such action at all. Every action has got its own level of severity at some stage or the other. So this question may naturally arise in the intellect of a devoted student, that Guru, I didn't ask for anything like that, and I don't have a desire to earn anything. Why are you even putting me into such kind of a severe kind of an action? And there is no action which is free or devoid of problems or devoid of issues or problems. There are no such situations in life at all. And I have no desire to do social service at all, and I don't have any desire to earn punya also. Then why are you even putting me into action? Why are you even asking me to go into action? Then that is what Arjun's question is all about. And when this question comes from a jignasu means one who is desirous to know about God, know about the eternal truth of the creation, and comes from a seeker, from a spiritual seeker, that comes from a speaker who has already seen that all kinds of action are severe. And here Guru is telling me, yogastha kuru karmani. Guru is telling me, tasmat yudhyasva bharata. And so how will the student feel? And this is why this is a natural question inside a spiritual, devoted spiritual seeker, that Guru, why are you asking me to struggle when I know I have no desire? I will struggle, I will work hard if I have a desire for anything. I have no desire to do social service, I have no desire to earn punya in my life. Then why are you asking me to do such kind of an action? Now, all people are not, engaged in war, but everybody's field of action is their war field only. Remember, when I'm talking about here, don't say that mine is, I'm not in the armed forces, air force or navy, so it is not applicable to me. But all those people who are in not in armed forces, air force or navy also, everyone's work field is a war field only, because we will have to face ups and downs. There will be favorable situations also, there will be adverse situations also. How it can't be translated as a war field for us? All our fields of actions are war field only. That is why Bhagavad Gita is so much applicable to me. When Bhagwan says yogastha kuru karmani tasmat yudhyasva bharata, Bhagwan is calling out to us. He is asking us, firmly placing yourself in yoga, in karma yoga, in the path of action, end up doing your duty well. Tasmat yudhyasva, that's why stand up and face. Don't run away. Don't end up giving up. Giving up is not something which Sanatan Dharma at all talks about. And we are in times when, every day we are hearing about suicides, this and that, and all those things, psychological problems. But here Gita is saying, face it. You cannot run away from the situation. You end up giving up this life, the same kind of situation will arise in the next life also. How many lives you will give up? Face it, fight with it, Have some real guru who can assist you, who can handhold you to walk through this. And we are all warriors in our war field actually, and that's why everybody's field of action is their war field, and we all are supposed to stand out as warriors as Arjun is. And that's why we are all told, you know, put give hard work, put your effort into it. I'm not using the word struggle because Sangharsh can come out as struggle also. We must put our hard work into it. We must do our full effort towards it. Tasmat Yudhyasva. This line is for all of us. And how we have to put our full effort, or how we have to work hard in our field of action. On that, Bhagwan said, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha, having a thought of me, remembering me, get into your field of action and put your 100% effort. This is the advice and teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Here, the biggest thing is that for a jignasu, for a person who is desirous to know, his question is that, Bhagwan, why are you employing me, or why are you asking me? Kim niyoje? See, the blockage in Arjun's mind is, Bhagwan, this is what it is. Then why are you employing me into that path of action? He didn't understand the real import of Bhagwan's teaching, that why Bhagwan is asking him to act in the world. And Arjun's question is absolutely to the point. And I'm sure as a guru, as a teacher, Bhagwan must be very happy with Arjun's question. Must be very happy. And because this is a very important topic, and Bhagwan also beautifully explains this question. From Arjun's question, Bhagwan explains this topic very beautifully. Even if our action is severe in nature, still we must come forward and do our action. Why? Because through our action only the route of evolution is available for us. Through our evolution only, through our action only, through our action only, our path for evolution opens up. For such a kind of a jignasu, for such a kind of a man desirous to know about the eternal supreme truth and eternal result, what I can gain in my life. Remember, for such a person, the motivating factor is not social service at all. Motivating factor is not earning punya at all. Why? Because the fruit of punya, or the result of punya, is favorable kind of a beautiful kind of a situation getting manifested around me. Shobhan Paristhiti, when it becomes manifested around me, that is what the fruit of punya is. And the truth of favorable situation around me, whether favorable or unfavorable, the truth of that we do not know. And the truth of that situation around me, we all know that all situations which manifest around us is always filled with some kind of problems or issues in it, embedded in it. A situation may be, however beautiful a situation around me may be, but remember, there will be some kind of issue or problem always hidden inside it. Then, if that is the case, now the action will become meaningless for this person, right? Then why should I even act? And it is a natural question in Arjun's mind. And Bhagwan knows that, everyone and who is walking the path of spirituality, this thought may come up in the mind. And for such a person, in his first side, it seems that I have no meaning of action in my life at all. I have no essence of action in my life at all. I have no reason for any kind of action and in my life at all. There is no meaning of action in my life at all. And the real way to escape from this creation, or real way to realize from this creation, the direct cause of that is the path of knowledge. That's why this person and starts to gain this conviction that I should only practice the path of knowledge, and that's it. The problem only arises when I have got this conviction that I should follow the path of knowledge, because that's the only way to reach the eternal truth, the final goal of realization. The problem comes when I have this conviction, but my guru comes and says, Yudhyasva. And when guru says, Guru Karmani, at that time, this seeker starts to feel, why? Why on earth should I do the action when I don't want anything at all? To address such kind of questions of a spiritual seeker, Gita ji, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, gives an advice, Hey Jignasu, through this action only is your route for evolution, your path for evolution. That's why, remember, here punya or social service is not the motivating factor, rather the motivating factor should be replaced with your own evolution. You must have the motivating factor embedded in your mind that my purpose of doing things should be that I want to evolve into a better being, higher being, a being which God wants me to become. By becoming such, I'm more nearer to God in my life. So the motivating factor will become my own evolution. Such a person, even though seemingly must be doing social service, but remember, seemingly is doing social service, but he is actually not a person and engaged in social service at all. He knows that why is he doing all that he is doing. He knows that the action he is doing, that is the path for his evolution, and that is going to surely make him evolve into that what he wants to become. Is in this fruit he has got no doubt at all. The path which Bhagwan is advising, if a person does action through in that process which Bhagwan is advising, the path which Bhagwan is advising, and the way Bhagwan is advising one person to do the action, in case a jignasu, a seeker, a spiritual seeker, desirous of knowing the self does action according to that, then 100%, 100%, this person and this spiritual seeker will definitely gain what is this ultimate result of karma yoga. He doesn't have to worry about the anekantik result or the doubtful result of karma yoga. This person will definitely gain the ultimate result of karma yoga. This, we should never have a doubt about this. And Bhagwan has, as what you call that, expounded this. Bhagwan has elaborated this in 14 verses from verse number 3 onwards. Bhagwan says, in case if you have made this intellectual conviction that following the path of action, and for following the path of action, you must reach a state of actionlessness, naishkarmya, and the way to prove or establish yourself in actionlessness, or becoming completely devoid of action, the easiest path for that is that either you do not start any action, or whatever action you have started, you give it up. If that is your thought, then I'm telling you, Arjun, you are highly mistaken, because by doing that you will end up reaching a strange, a weird kind of a actionless state, weird kind of an actionless state. I'm using purposely that. And that kind of a thought is actually completely wrong. In this fourth verse, Bhagwan is directly answering that particular thought, that Arjun, if you have come to that thought, because Arjun was also wanting to leave everything and go. And this is the gross misunderstanding which in our society we have. People have understood sannyasa as something, sannyasa as escapism. Either I don't start anything at all, or I give up whatever I've started, then I end up gaining sannyasa. I'm sorry, all such people who have taken sannyasa in an escapism way like this, They are only fooling themselves. They are only mocking themselves. They are only end up doing worse to themselves. That's the word I want to use. So Bhagwan says, is when we see Bhagavad Gita, we have to see in the light of all that is being taught. If you just pick up the meaning of one verse, you may not be able to understand everything at all. So that's why don't only end up understanding shloka by shloka, but try to connect Bhagavad Gita entirely and see it in that light. So what Bhagwan wants to say from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan says, na karmanam anarambhat naishkarmyam purushah na ashnute. So karmanam anarambhat naishkarmyam purushah na ashnute. Just because a person does not start an action, I'm sorry, you are not going to reach a state of actionlessness. And the meaning of actionlessness is, the actual meaning of Naishkarmyam, the way Bhagwan has explained is, in the second chapter, Bhagwan has coined as Brahmi Sthiti, the state of firm abidance in Brahman, Atmanishta, or firm abidance in the self, Atma Raman, reveling in the self, and Atmanand, or experiencing the bliss of the self, or drowning oneself in the bliss of the self. And such a Naishkarmya, which is the actual definition of Naishkarmya, one cannot achieve by just not starting action or giving up what one has started. Whenever we face action and our action becomes very severe, then all of us, most of us, so to say, I don't want to coin everyone in that, whenever our actions become very severe and we see that our actions become very severe, it's asking too much effort from me, I'm getting stressed in today's world, the first thought which comes in our mind is that let's give up that action. And many end up giving up that action also. And maybe it is also possible that till the time we do not see the severity of action, that the action is impacting me more than giving me, till that time maybe it is possible that such thought doesn't come also. And second thing Bhagwan says, nacha sanyasanadeva, if somebody says that whatever work I've taken in my life, if whatever work I've taken up, I'll give up that and then I will be able to attain a state of naishkarmyam, reach the stage of Brahmi Sthiti, Atmanishta and all, the way Bhagwan has said, then actually we are making a fool of ourselves. Why? Because giving up what we have taken up, by giving up what we have taken up, no one till date has achieved the state of sannyasa or the state of naishkarmyam or reached the ultimate result, so to say, ever in anybody's life. So Arjun, both these kind of thoughts, in case it is coming up in your life, which I see it is coming up, that by not starting an action or giving up what you have started, here Arjun does not want to start the war and give up the duty of getting into the fight. So both the things are there. Remember, the truth is, nobody who is in this body or no human being in a human life has got such an option in life at all. You do not have a choice at all to give up what you have started, or you do not have got an option of that at all, to give up what you have started and not take up action at all. Those who try to do it without even having that option or choice, they are doing a fruitless kind of an effort. They are doing an effort which is not going to give them anywhere, not going to take them anywhere at all. In the next verse, which is the verse number 5, Bhagwan takes up this verse further, which we will take up in the next session. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम तत्सत्।